Ohio gozaimasu! Welcome to another episode of Kyoto by Night, The Second Breath. This evening we are turning to Pink Fox and Musashi Akira as they are continuing to prepare their actions towards the Kingu siblings and how it relates to the broken mirror that may be the key to either slow down the Sixth Age in Kyoto or allow it to finally slip across. So we will look now at our two woo mates in this evening.
This evening, Pink Fox and Akira Musashi, they're heading towards the tea house where Gakusha and Masaru they last found them, as it were. They know that Masaru's been having his troubles, and given everything that they've learnt, and given the direction where it seems the court is going, Pink Fox feels that she may have come up with the only, not exactly the most ideal solution, but it's probably one of the few more feasible solutions that they have. Now that the Sixth Age is pretty much upon them, at least by popular opinion anyway, it seems like the best thing that they can do is damage mitigation, which in this case, it's give Masaru a chance, or at least hope to push him in the right direction. So they head to the tea house.
Yeah.
All right. And on this evening, both Gakusha and Masaru will be there. And he is twitching as he's going through a book at a table, and Gakusha is being contemplative in his corner.
And, paying the usual respects to tradition, or at least as much as the two thrashing dragons, the two magistrates subverting thrashing dragons, will do. She probably waits until one of Gakusha's retainers approaches them and, quietly asks if they can have a moment of Gakusha's time.
For certainty, you don't need a table of your own. Just approach the madam of the house, and she is welcoming guests. Otherwise, she would not be in the common room.
And Pink Fox smiles and bows. Okay.
Akira does as well.
Okay. Then two thrashing dragons approach Gakusha's table and, bow politely before they pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Evening, Gakusha-san. We think we may have a solution to the whole issue with the broken mirror and, Masaru as well.
And what would your solution be?
We feel that we know what the source of the broken mirrors are. We feel we know how these broken mirrors may have first formed, how they're continuing to be formed. As far as Masaru's part in this is, we feel we need to convince him that, I think Sosen Kisaragi's example is more positive in this regard. because it's his obsession with his sister that causes Masaru pain. And that is causing him to not be able to let go and fully embrace his path. And Pink Fox actually looks over to Akira at this point. Do you have the DVD, that cartoon?
And I'm guessing that he has, so he reaches into his I don't know, his briefcase, I'm guessing, and pulls out the DVD.
The DVD is a localized copy of an animated version of Moby Dick.
Ah.
I think if we show him, this DVD, it might help illustrate the point that we're trying to make. Now, have you ever seen Moby Dick before? Have you ever heard of it?
I've read when I learned English.
Okay, so you understand the road we want to go down with this.
I can appreciate using allegory to teach a lesson. And he'll smile.
I felt it would be, change and, I don't want to criticize your teaching technique, but I don't think Masaru is really the type of person to respond well to, being taught in a classroom. I think he needs practical experiences and practical lessons in order to best teach him.
Agreed.
Okay. This may be... I'm not going to lie, we are taking risks. And, if the Po does take over, considering my previous experiences with it, it may turn violent. Maybe. Or it may present an opportunity for us to learn more about where this broken mirror leads, which hell it leads to. Any and all information at this point could be a...
There is no chance at success without risk. The path that you walk would say that that is the true method of behavior. Your lack of confidence may be a risk to you on that path, despite your successful navigation of such. But if you truly are committed to this, then nobody should be stopping you.
Well, you are Masaru's guardian. And if we are to follow through with this, then it would be on our respective heads. It would be, according to our traditions, your responsibility. He is your responsibility, And I feel that it would be disrespectful for me to not let you know what we have planned before we do it in this situation. The only thing that does not cause me confidence, that does not give me reason for confidence, is twofold. Number one, by popular opinion, we are now entering the 6th age. Anything that may have been true in the 5th age might not necessarily be true in the 6th age. Number two, I'm going by instincts rather than solid knowledge. And I feel that it is, all things considered, and everything that has already transpired and everything that has already been put forward, what we've learned, we really have no other choice.
Akira nods in agreement.
Then trust yourself.
Okay. Is there a room with a DVD player in the tea house? Maybe upstairs?
No, I don't believe so.
No. Suppose we can... Character, remind me, is the tea house adjacent to the Mayamanji temple?
No, it's in a different spot of the city. Gakusha will follow up with, you may bring Masaru to wherever you need to impart this wisdom. He has read a fair amount.
Okay. Kira? You think you can take him back to your apartment? Or... I don't know.
Well, the thing is, he says, if all else fails, yes, we can do that, but I'm not... If this goes horribly wrong, I'm not all that fond of him knowing exactly where I live.
Okay, understandable. Where else do you think do we have?
Is there a secluded place somewhere where it doesn't really matter? An abandoned warehouse or something?
An abandoned warehouse with a DVD player and a television.
Yeah, exactly.
That combination. Common sense would probably tell me that we need some place that's less, yeah.
A school, maybe?
Good lord. This may be a shot in the dark, but would we assume that some of the motels, hotels, or whatever around Kyoto have DVD players in their rooms? I know they're obviously going to have a television.
Trying to think. I think most... Well, let's take a look here. I think most of the more modern ones would have been updated with a centralized system, like a lot of American hotels. But if you guys went to some of the probably not quite as...
What the fuck am I talking? What the fuck am I talking about? We can just use a laptop.
That could work too.
Yeah. So yeah. Pink Fox, Ting, light bulb. Your laptop has like DVD compatible, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Only then is
every laptop modern laptop worth anything has.
oh, awesome. Well, we just need a quiet room then. Is there anywhere upstairs,
That
Gakusha-san? Like,
A room can be provided.
thank you. Thank you very much. Well, should I go over and speak to Masaru then, Akira?
Akira nods. Thank you. I was about to say senpai. Sorry. Thank you. He says to Gakusha. You noticed us.
Yes.
And nods, looking at Fox. Shall we?
Mm-hmm. Now Pink Fox will get up, give another bow to Gakusha, and turn about face to Masaru. How does he look at the moment?
Frustrated. Bored.
Yeah.
It's to be expected. So yeah, Pink Fox is going to go over there and bring some sunshine into his day. Not in that way, but bring some brightened spirits, as it were. Yeah, she'll head on over, pull up the chair. Masaru.
Oh, hey. He'll kind of look over at Gakusha and then looks back at you. How are you doing now?
Not so bad, but a lot of things have happened recently in court. You heard about what happened with Sosen Kisaragi?
Yeah, something about she retired.
Not exactly.
Akira can't help but chuckle.
Sosen, I'll put this in basic terms. Sosen Kisaragi followed, well, the name Sosen Kisaragi was an identity which she had. She was a follower of the Path of the Thousand Whispers. For the last few centuries, she lived the existence of a resplendent crane ancestor in order to learn from that particular life. According to her own testimony, she felt that she had learned everything that she could possibly learn from that life, and she went through a ritualistic funeral to die and be reborn again, spiritually, and then she will leave and go and start another life someplace else.
I read something about that in one of
Yeah,
the books. That's kind of the theory behind what they want me to
yeah.
start
Think
doing, eh?
think of it kind of like a vampiric reinterpretation of the Buddhist concept of reincarnation. You know, you try to break the cycle, the system of existence, through by living righteous lives. Or in this case, you try to understand the struggle of life in all of its extremes, all of its polarities. And then when you find the answers that you seek in those lives, if there are any answers to seek, you then break away from that life and start again with another, still seeking the answers.
Well, why do I even have to bother with that? I mean, that's not what the two of you guys follow. That's not what
Well, we follow our own past for our own
other
reasons.
friends have.
It's, it's kind of complicated. Can I share something with you, Masaru?
Sure.
You're lucky in many ways. You know what life was like before the second breath. You know,
I don't know if
it's
I'd
like,
consider that lucky.
yeah,
I kind of had a bit of a shit life.
but you remember having a childhood. You remember growing up. You remember the first time you ever tasted, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or ice cream. Remember the first time that, you saw someone that you loved. Maybe even remember the first time you had someone to love you back. I don't have any of that. Everything before I woke up in a cage with people like Ogawa, it's just not there. Did you ever wonder why my name was Pink Fox? I don't know too many people with that.
I assumed it was a stripper name from, what I've kind of gathered.
Well, yeah, it's a stage name, but, we have this ritual known as embracing the spirit's change. It's something that people do in our society to break away from their former identity and embrace a new one. You know, I underwent that ritual. I mean, I don't know how to perform it personally, but I did undergo it and, chose the name Pink Fox. The reason why I was recommended that I go on the Dance of the Thrashing Dragon is because it will help fill a void in my life. You know, fill it. The way I see it is, I follow my path to fill that void with anything because it's given me a hunger. Because the absence of anything, the absence of memory for me has become like a dark chasm. And I want to fill that chasm with anything: love, hate, joy, sorrow, all the colors of life in every shape and form. That's what I mean when I said that you're lucky.
Well, and all I want to do is fix what has happened to me. And you're allowed to prance around and fill your life with color, and I'm stuck reading a book instead of figuring out how to put an end to that place.
Do you know what that place is? I mean, its technical term.
It's a room. It's a room that's not really in our world.
A lot of the scholars call them broken mirrors. There's probably a interesting story behind the name, but essentially that they're doorways into one of the hells that we escaped from. They're created by massive concentrations of either corrupted chi, like the chi in the dragon lines around Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the reactors in Fukushima, or they're caused by a concentration of emotional pain, really, really strong emotional pain, the kind that's built up over years kind that would be built up over a lifetime until it manifests, swallows everything that comes into contact with it. We spend a lot of time looking up on these things because it's, from what you've told us, this is actually quite important. From what we've learned, it's able to cause people to be possessed by, well, have you ever seen any of Ogawa-san's, retainers? You know, the girl with the really wide smile.
I haven't dealt with him much.
And you've probably seen him being driven around by them.
Once or twice, he's got some girl that drives for him.
Yeah. It probably might surprise you to learn this, but she's not human. And she's not been human for quite some time. She's, in our terms, she's known as bakemono. She's what happens when an evil spirit possesses a human, or less commonly an animal. They take over the human. They warp their personality, cause them to do things that they otherwise wouldn't have done.
Kind of like us.
Yeah, but we're different. We're still in control. Bakemono, they're completely demonic. But, they're also quite, they don't have as much in the way of will. So that's probably why devil tigers, use them as much. Because, the devil tiger's inner demon, their Po, makes the bakemono's Po, look like a church mouse. And here's the point I was trying to make. In these broken mirrors, people can potentially become bakemono. And those that don't become bakemono are often driven mad. They become hysterical, they can become homicidal. They behave in ways which they never, ever would have behaved. You understand what I'm saying, don't you?
You're trying to make excuses for what my sister did?
I'm trying to say that she had any right to do what she did. I'm not saying that she had any excuse to do what she did. But let me put it this way. If you were still alive...
It is an explanation.
Yeah. If you were still alive, let's say it had been the other way around. What if you'd killed her and eaten her? Could you have lived with knowing that? I don't know what I did before. I don't know if I killed my family. I don't know if I'm sorry. I don't like talking about before the second breath. Anyway.
Akira looks at Fox a little bit. I don't think he's ever seen her quite like this, so he's a little bit concerned.
I don't like talking about it either. The voice inside me presses forwards when we dwell on such things. Questions why I'm wasting my time with these books instead of dealing with the problem at hand.
Yeah. I don't think you're really the book learning type.
No.
I'm not either.
I've learned
learned
what I know already on the run.
Yeah. Maybe I can give you a lesson of my own, practical lesson. Pink Fox probably takes the DVD. Have you ever seen this before?
A DVD?
Yeah, I mean this one here. Moby Dick.
No, I don't think I've watched that one specifically. I've seen movies where people have referenced it.
Hmm. I think this one, it'll be educational for all of us. And it'll be a lot more fun than just reading loads of books all the time.
Amen to that.
I got Akira's laptop. There's a room upstairs.
Akira pulls out his laptop and takes it under his arm.
So your idea of hands-on is to watch a movie instead of reading a book?
You'd be surprised.
Well, Ruth is
It
not
presents
reading.
I mean, that's why, seeing things in pictorial form are a lot easier to interpret, a lot easier to grasp the little subtle nuances and everything, rather than just, reading everything. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I can only read for maybe 10, 15 minutes before I just get bored.
Yeah. The ideographs just kind of start to blur together.
Yeah. So, let's go. Let's go watch it.
All right.
So yeah, go up to that room, set everything up, put the DVD in the case, put it on surround sound, possibly.
or as surround sound as you can get on a laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's going to be dubbed, so no need for subtitles. So, yeah.
Okay. Dun, dun. Hakuge is an anime version of Moby Dick.
Mhm.
So we could even have a localized and not have to have it dubbed.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we will watch and yeah, after the movie is done. I admit that was a lot more interesting than reading a book. So I suppose how long would a book be that you could do in an hour and a half movie?
I don't know. I suppose it depends on the
From what I've
director.
heard, the original book was quite long, but meh.
Yeah. Wasn't it something like 300 pages?
Wasn't it more? I haven't read it. I heard 7, but
I don't know. Google it. Maybe.
yeah. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I was going to say we really need to sort out how long a book that none of us are ever going to read is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, so where's the hands-on come into play?
Well, what did you think of the whole thing? Was it really worth it at the end of the day? Ahab going across the world, killing all those whales just to find one, sacrificing lives of all of his crew members.
Well, he
then
found
him
the
losing his
whale.
life. Yeah,
But he found the whale.
and then the whale finished him off.
Well, then
The
he just
Ishmael male was the one who survived.
well, then he should have been better prepared to handle the whale when he found him.
He couldn't have been more prepared. He had the strongest ship, the best crew that he could find. The whale, I think, represents a force of nature. Something greater than you and I. Something greater than anything, you know, anything that we can possibly imagine. Anything any human could possibly imagine. In our philosophy.
Oh, this is you telling me that there's no point in trying to chase down the solution to getting rid of this room.
That's not the point that I was trying
Oh,
to make.
okay.
Whilst it is true, those who follow the dance of the thrashing dragon do love challenges, you know. There comes a time where a challenge isn't a challenge. It's a decision between life and death. At the start of the story, Captain Ahab was in a situation where he had lost a leg to this white whale. There's an old story of thrashing dragons. When a dog loses its leg, does it pine over the creature that it was before, of what it could have been?
Well, no, because it's a stupid dog.
Dogs still have feelings, you know? Dogs can still offer love. They can still move, they can still get around. They just have to adapt around it. You know? Their instincts drive them to adapt. You know? If it's gone, it's gone. The worst things, the worst times, the worst dwelling upon that lost limb would cause you to look back. You know, you'd see all the possibilities like a pruned bonsai tree. You'd start to wonder, could it have been different? But in reality, probably wouldn't have been any different. And if it was different, it would just be someone else with one arm less. As far as Ahab, the journey that Ahab went, he let his obsession drive him into the grave. Just like I could have let obsession with my previous life drive me into further despair. I can't hope that I will be successful upon my path. At the very least, I have to try. And
But why? Why try? I was surviving without any prior instruction. Our friend doesn't seem to put as much emphasis on enlightenment as Gakusha or the others from the temple. So why make the effort?
I think I know the reason why our mutual friend puts that philosophy towards you. It's because it's the easy path. It's easier to control a beast. It's easier to control someone who doesn't know any better.
And giving people something to believe in, isn't that also a way of control? Telling me what to think and what to do, telling me that I have to burn a life and start over from scratch instead of building anything long-lasting.
But it's your life. It's your choice what lives that you make. Tomorrow you could burn this life and start again as a carpenter, a simple carpenter. And you could learn more about life than maybe even I know. You could burn that life the next year and start a life someplace else as a police officer. You can understand the concept of ultimate justice and any other answers that that life may give you, and then burn that and go to another one, like that of a stripper in a Kyoto nightclub.
All right, then help me make a life then. If that's the road I'm supposed to take, then I don't even know how I would start a life. So how would I start a life from scratch? Where do I get fake IDs? Where do I get everything to support as an identity? One can't become a police officer or a carpenter without having a way to prove who they are. Pass background checks? Like, how am I supposed to do all that?
That's where our society comes in. Quite a lot of us have contacts in mortal government, mortal media. We all support each other. As far as being able to, walk the walk and talk the talk, well, start small. What do you know that you can do?
What do I know that I can do?
Yeah. Can you program a computer? Can you... That's a nasty cough you got there, Akira.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you hear Akira's cough? Which, yes, Pink Fox does say kind of playfully.
Well, I was trying to, before I died, I was trying to take schooling for being a realtor to get my realty license. I've done, some. I did find shop and carpentry to be somewhat calming, you know, to try to focus on something to get the night terrors out of my mind before, back when I thought that that's what true night terrors were. So I mean, I've got some skill set with that. We have gotten a lot more physically impressive since coming back, and are a lot better at being able to, I guess, search and discover information and tracking people and things. And I mean, I get my size makes me a little intimidating to begin with, but even with the scarring makes it a little bit even more so. So I mean, I could be a rough muscle. What's the term from those gangster movies?
I think they call it an enforcer or soldier or
some kind of badass. I could be a badass.
a little brother, I think they call it.
I think the Italians call it soldier in their terms, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Yakuza that call it little brother. Well,
So,
in case,
so which of those would you be able to help me get a life set up for?
Well, realtor is like real estate, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of boring, but it
Hey,
looked like it
don't
was
say that.
potentially to be ludicrous for money. And I still kind of understand the basics. I mean, I have helped I have helped people since coming back with advice on investment properties and stuff. So
Really? Cool. Yeah, you never know. Well then,
well, maybe. So if I did that, um, if we tried to get some, I mean, that would take a little bit more effort to make a life there. But would you be able to get me, like at the club you're at, would you be able to get me a job as a bouncer maybe? Or something like that I could do. I could and that I if you could get me that, that would be a life I could start without having to have a lot of paperwork behind me to support. I mean, if you could pull strings, I mean, if they still insist on, background check or whatever.
I can definitely do that.
Akira nods. That should
Would
not be a problem.
if we use my real name, if they did a criminal history check, would it show that I am presumed deceased, or would that just show up that I don't have a criminal history? Oh, I guess my missing
They will-
person. If my sister, no, my sister wouldn't have sent a missing person. She wouldn't have cared, especially since she knew what happened to me. So, well, but it's supposed to be a different life, so I guess if I shouldn't use my actual identity.
That's probably a good idea. In any case, Akira says, because who knows what might come up. I will try my best to keep as to keep the checks and stuff like that as little as possible. Oh, Jason, what was that?
Sorry about that. I just dropped out. What was the last
No
thing you were going
worries.
to say?
We were just discussing whether or not using his real name, and then he said, "Oh, but it's supposed to be a new name, so using my real
Yeah.
name wouldn't make sense."
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the last thing that I said before, I dropped out was, if you're going to burn this life and start a new one, what will you call yourself?
As a bouncer, gotta pick a name that would really sound like a bouncer name.
Well, you should also consider if you want to be a bouncer for the rest of this existence.
Hmm.
Well, I'd be changing though, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
my name with you guys would still be the same,
Mm.
but it's just so good bouncer name. Good bouncer name like Goro. That sounds like a good bouncer name. Do
Goro.
bouncers have to give last names?
Yeah, if we're going to give you like a
Well,
legitimate identity, they're going to need to have a second name. So, I don't know.
yeah, and paychecks and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Um,
What about Surumi Goro?
Surumi?
Surumi.
Okay, that works. I
Hmm.
can go for that. And then there, so that is an identity I'm gonna try. Yes, it'll get the stiffs off my back, because then I'm actually trying get me out of the out of the book work and actually living a life. And you would be able to get me a job under that name?
Yeah,
We
I
can
don't see why not. He says,
Hmm.
it is our club, after all, along with one other partner, but it is more or less our club.
It gives me reason to get out, and then we can figure out, because we'll need more detail, I assume, for a
Yeah.
real estate identity, a realtor identity.
Why not both? That's the whole thing. Lives are not two-dimensional. They're three-dimensional. They're full of color, full of life. Who was Goro Tsurumi Goro? Where did he grow up? What did he want to be?
Oh God, am I gonna have to write out a backstory for this identity?
Don't think, feel. Who do you want this Goro Tsurumi to be?
Big, quiet, grumpy guy that nobody talks to and leaves the fuck alone.
Akira looks at Pink. I'm thinking rough childhood, ran away
No, no,
from
no, no,
home
no, no,
early.
no, no, no. Tsurumi Goro was born very physically adept. He wanted to be a football player. But, he has aspirations. He knows that the economy is where the real money is. But he knows that he needs to make money, so he gets a job at a club to pay for his way as he studies to become a realtor. He wants to be a realtor so he can build homes. He wants people to not have to worry about a roof over their head. He has his own desires. He wants to own a car. He wants his own home. But he loves being around people. People love him because he is their protector.
Well, it's work in progress.
Like I said, Tsurumi Goro is not Kingu Masaru. Kingu Masaru died. And then when you've learned everything that you need to learn from the life of Tsurumi Goro, then you can lay him to rest and start another one.
Yeah, I guess it is supposed to be different, right?
But you have Tsurumi Goro has yet to be born. So you have time to focus on just the one life for now.
Okay, well, let me know when I can start doing this hands-on stuff. Because I should probably look different too, right?
Yeah, I mean, those acting classes will probably come in handy for you.
Yeah, probably. And all right, I've never actually gotten somebody else's opinion for this. He'll focus and channel some chi, and you guys can hear bones kind of snap and crunch as his skull starts to reconfigure itself to alter his facial features.
Akira's eyes widen in a kind of what the fuck am I looking at expression.
Does this look different enough that I will be somebody else like this?
Pink Fox kind of like, at first she's a little bit taken aback, but then she's a little bit curious. She starts like focusing her eyes on him.
Should I be taller or shorter as a bouncer? I mean, I'm pretty tall and intimidating, but should I be a little less? Should I be broader? What do you
Out of
think?
character, is this the evocation that I'm thinking that it is?
I'm not sure.
I believe that there is a combination power of bone Shintai and flesh Shintai that allows you to do that.
This is actually just straight bone Shintai.
Really?
It is not fine-tuned to the point of what you're thinking it is. Thus, the
yes, bone
the
Shintai. I forgot.
sounds of the bones actually breaking and reforming and moving.
Yes, I forgot that bone Shintai. Thank you very much for reminding me.
So he actually can't mimic a specific person, but he can change the way he looks.
Yeah, she kind of like looks at it. Look, I'll just roll a perception alertness, or anything else.
For you can tell, like, he does look different. He does look different. He still looks like a big ugly brute, but he does look like a different big ugly brute.
Yeah, we're going down the right path with this. You know.
All right.
You can
Well,
always
let's.
do other things as well.
All right. Let's try a little. He's like, if I'm going to mimic something, or change myself, I just want to get in my head so I know how to do it. So he'll kind of crunch as his neck gets a little bit shorter and his head gets a little bit closer to his shoulders, and then he stretches a little bit and his shoulders pop a little bit farther apart, and then he'll kind of crunch down, and a little bit of a snap and slide sound as he shortens his legs a little bit. So I'm just a little bit shorter, but a little bit wider and different face. So I'm at least different. So I wouldn't necessarily, your bouncer wouldn't necessarily be recognizable as Masaru, who stalks the night looking for food.
Now we're getting somewhere. What do you think, Akira?
Akira looks at him and goes, "Well, it is different," he says with an expression of like he's starting to calm down again, but like still a little bit. Whoa, what did I just see? I don't think anyone will recognize you as Masaru. No.
All right. So I guess this is what Goro looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I think he must have played American football.
Yeah.
I feel like
probably.
an American football player.
Yeah. You know, rugby, that's that type of thing. I think he dressed differently as well.
He probably dresses. What would the dress code be for your?
Well,
I mean, aside from clean.
Well, if you're going to be working at the club as a bouncer, you're going to have some, you know, like shirts, you know, like either long-sleeved or, you know, short-sleeved shirts. Plain, you know, obviously has to be plain black because, you know, maybe we'll have one which like says security or whatever on it. You know, cargo pants. To give you ease of movement and everything.
Okay. I think I know where people like that congregate. Might be hard to find somebody that wears the same size as this, though. But I'm sure it might take 2 or 3 muggings, but I could find the right
You don't
clothes.
need to do muggings. We'll just get you them.
I don't have any money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that makes that easier.
You don't need to go around mugging people all the time. You're playing. Goro Surumi is going to be a law-abiding citizen, so he won't need to go out mugging people. You can do
Yes,
that in the next life.
He doesn't, but Kingu Masaru is.
But you're trying to get away from Kingu Masaru.
But then who am I when I go to court with you guys? Who am I when I deal with other Gaki? I still have to have an identity for that.
Yeah, but so did Sosen Kisaragi.
So I gotta make up a new Gaki personality too?
It's not actually a bad idea.
I'll think about that.
And you
Sounds like a lot of work.
ideas as well.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work. I'll have to think about that. But at least I'm not reading. And that's the main thing.
I've noticed that you have a lot of yin and not enough yang.
I am balanced, but I do have. We have been finding it easier to sustain ourselves on the life of, or I guess the chi. Trying to remember the new terms, the chi of those who are depressed or dead or scared. Yeah, I guess I do have a little bit more use for the yin chi, because that's what we have learnt from our experience in Yomi, where the winds scour the flesh and leaves nothing but bone. That is where we have drawn our strength from. The strength of our bones.
Wits occult?
Yeah, you can do wits occult. Or intelligence occult, actually.
Alright, okay, that's one less dog.
Du-du-du.
Nothing.
Okay.
No, doesn't ring a
I
bell.
have 3
for Fox.
dice.
He's talking rubbish.
And
Or some
where does
obscure
the roll
realm.
go?
Are those 2 8s?
I get 2 successes.
All right. So you have, Akira has heard of the hell of being skinned alive, which is actually has the notoriety of being the most inhospitable of the Yami realms that are named, if such a distinction can be made.
Do I have to roll anything just to not like, oh fuck, I can't deal with this shit?
No.
Even hearing about it. Or, okay, good.
No.
Okay, good.
So you would be. It's a different one than you would have been in, but it is. It is a blasted landscape, like similar to the pictures of that the rover has sent back of Mars, and winds whip across and just flay the souls.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I couldn't help but think of certain pictures from Dante's Inferno. or Dante's Divine Comedy, excuse me.
Yes,
Yeah.
some of those would be appropriate as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Pink Fox probably,
I know of
without
the
recognizing
place
what that
Akira
was.
says.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought you were just. I thought you was trying to like do some poetry kind of stuff there.
No, it also helped because it a lot
Akira
of
shakes his head. Unfortunately not.
more stealthy and survival benefits to that shintai. So it has been a very useful one. Though from what I've read, I suppose eventually it would have backfired because if I grew too dependent upon storing yin chi, then I would have ended up spiraling, looking like some sort of zombie or something. So
Yeah.
and would have gotten hungry faster.
Oh yeah.
That
Totally.
was, I guess, from what I remember and from what I have read, that being balanced, I didn't have to feed as much as if I was imbalanced. So that's actually kind of
Yeah,
nice.
you would have ended up looking like. Have you ever seen those Hong Kong movies? You know, with the Zhang Shi. You know, the guys with the like the funny hats and the quilts and the stretchy arms and things like that. You
Yeah.
know, the Zhang Shi, I think they call them. You end up looking like one of them, and you would have not been very happy.
Yeah. All right. But yes, this is how I'm gonna make myself look then, as Goro the bouncer who is trying to be a real estate agent, and I am a bouncer for extra money while I get. So I guess I'd be restarting the schooling for my certification,
Mm-hmm.
but
And you'll have an advantage over everyone else because you've already been over the material.
So wow, I'll actually be the smart guy in class for a change.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting experience. Excellent. All right. Well, I'll. Okay. This is something I can do. I'm sure this is something I can do. And then you guys will let me know when I'll be available, like when I can start working for you guys.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, good.
We still got to clear up a few things first because we only just recently bought the business and we have this we need an action plan for our business. But we'll let you know as soon as we finish that, and we'll let you know when you can start work and everything.
All right. All right. Excellent. Okay then. Well, I am going to. I'm actually just gonna try. Wait, no, I need clothes. Anyway. So what are you guys doing now?
Now we need to go find Yoshi, who hasn't answered his calls, and we're probably going to murder him. Not literally, but
Oh.
yeah.
I could help.
No. It has to be. We're his roommates. See, it has to be kind of like a family thing. I mean, if you were part of our woo, totally, I would totally love to see you punch him in the face, but it
Okay.
It stays in the family. Akira smiles.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to. Do you guys have any other recommendations on what movies I should try to watch?
Off the top of my head, We need some. I'm thinking some positive reinforcement for this guy. Basically, because we need to get up his hun up, so we need to do stuff which center. We need movies which center around, someone who, is kind of in the same role, a similar role as a bouncer, but is protecting other people. So the only one off the top of my head I can think of is The Bodyguard, with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, I believe it was.
Yeah, that might be a little bit counterproductive, as it is not exactly yeah, it is about protecting someone, but
Something along those lines is what you're gonna recommend.
Well, that I would probably recommend that one. I'm trying to think of some others. What's a good things with bouncers in them?
Google is our friend.
Yeah. What's the Japanese equivalent of Roadhouse?
Yes.
What is Roadhouse?
It's an American movie about a bouncer.
Okay. Well, you can just watch the American film then.
Just as long as we don't force him to watch The Marine.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Marine?
The Marine, starring John Cena.
I have no idea, but okay.
Just be thankful that you don't know that.
Okay, very good. His name is John Cena.
And etc.
There's actually a Japanese action movie called The Bouncer.
Oh
wait, it's a cartoon. It's got to be it's got to be an anime because there's a whole bunch of white people with voices on this, but it came up when I said Japanese. So yeah, it's the dubbed. It was Japanese in 2001.
Yeah.
There
you go. Anyway, something along those lines. All right.
Yeah,
well,
you
guys give them some movie suggestions and.
I'm back. That's a good one.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
The one with the Tony Jaa.
Which one?
A good one.
On back. Yeah, it's the one where Tony Jaa basically has the statue basically gets stolen. This religious statue, a Buddha or something like that, gets stolen from a Thai village, and so Tony Jaa has to go to Bangkok to meet his cousin and to get it back. And there's a whole lot of fighting, a whole lot of heroics and shit like that, and it's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So so he will get up and go back to the place that he's been crashing at, and leaving the two of you in.
Might even give him the Passion of the Christ whilst we're at it.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, it's death and resurrection.
It is.
Like
that is true.
Yep.
Yeah. Good thing I actually opened up my DVD collection.
Wouldn't it give him flashbacks to that Yami he escaped?
It might.
Except
trigger Shadow Soul at the culmination.
No, because
Come again, Jason?
I said it probably wouldn't because the ending is great.
That's true.
Because
yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking more about that one
back,
scene,
After 3 days, back by popular demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So so he'll leave the two of you there in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was there anything else you guys were wanting to do or discuss this scene?
I can't think of.
I think we're pretty much done. I mean, it's like 10:30 at the moment.
No worries. So we will, at this point, we will end the scene then, as they've managed to get the young Masaru off in hopefully the right direction. And thank you again for watching. Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.